today's video, we're going to discuss what dance shoes your child needs if they're involved in community theater. Before we get started, I'm Carrie, I'm a theater mom, and I started this channel to help other theater parents or students. I make a new video each week, so be sure to subscribe to keep up with all of my content. Hopefully this first thing I say will be a relief to you parents out there. If your child is just starting out in community theater, don't buy them any shoes. Seriously. For most community theater auditions, tennis shoes or some type of closed-toed shoe they can dance in are just fine. You don't want to go out and spend a ton on shoes for a couple of reasons. First off, kids are fickle and they change their minds. Why spend a ton on dance shoes if your kid's going to decide next week that they want to switch to soccer instead? If your child does get a part in a show, they might want your child to have a specific color or type of shoe for the show. So it could work better if you wait to see what they want and then make your purchase. As your child gains interest in theater, you might wind up signing them up for some dance classes. Once you do this, the dance teacher will tell you what shoes they need you to buy. Generally, for musical theater and jazz, kids need a jazz shoe. These are usually pretty inexpensive. Some are lace-up and others are slip-on. Read the reviews and find a pair that works for you. We live in a small town and the closest store with lots of dance shoes is pretty far from us. I've had pretty good luck ordering a variety from Amazon or Zappos and then returning the ones that don't work for us. The jazz shoes also come in beige or black. There will probably come a time when you need both colors, but I would hold off purchasing them until you need them. Kids' feet grow fast, and there's no sense in spending money on a shoe that might not fit by the time you need it. We've never needed ballet shoes for a theater audition. I'm not saying you never will, but again, don't purchase them unless you need them. My daughter is currently working on her college auditions, and we do need ballet shoes for that, although not for every school. If your child is actually taking ballet, again, their teacher will probably prefer a specific type of shoe, so yet again, don't purchase ballet shoes until you know what you need to buy and then get them. Next up, let's talk about tap shoes. You would only need to bring tap shoes to an audition if your child has been taking tap lessons and the audition notice specifically mentions that there will be a tap portion of the audition. In any event, your child's dance teacher will tell them what type of tap shoes to get for class. And if your child is cast in a show, they'll likely say whatever tap shoes they have are fine, or there is a possibility that they might ask for something specific. So again, don't go out and buy tap shoes just for auditions. Finally, here's the one case where you might want to purchase shoes specifically for auditions: character shoes. Around the time that girls transition from playing child roles to playing teen or adult roles, you'll start to see a shift from wearing jazz shoes to character shoes at auditions. I wanted to mention this because I remember my daughter being at an audition, and she was one of the youngest auditioning for the show. She was in middle school, and most of the other people auditioning were in high school. I remember looking around the waiting area and noticing she was one of the only ones wearing jazz shoes instead of character shoes. She did wind up being cast in a small role, and I doubt that the shoes had anything to do with it, but I do feel that character shoes would have helped her appear more mature. When it comes to buying character shoes, if you're just buying them for auditions, you can read the reviews and pick some in the style and heel height you feel will work best for your child. Definitely have your child break them in a bit and practice dancing in them at home. Dancing in a heel is pretty different than dancing in a jazz shoe. If your child is cast, the theater might ask you to purchase a specific style, color, or heel height for the character shoe. I have one more funny story about character shoes. My daughter auditioned to be Ariel in The Little Mermaid a couple of summers ago. She was barely in the age bracket to play her, and she's also extremely petite. She wore her 3-inch character shoes for the audition and wound up getting the part. The bottom line of this video is it's generally not necessary to buy shoes specifically for auditions. Use what you have. If your child is in dance, their dance teacher will recommend shoes that they want them to purchase. If they're cast in the show, the theater will likely request a specific shoe, or if they don't, you can ask before you buy. The only exception is when you transition from a jazz shoe to a character shoe. I hope you find this video helpful. Hopefully it saved you some money and some stress. Please give it a share and leave a comment for me down below if you have other advice for parents about dance shoes for theater. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week.